What's going on YouTube? This is Necrostevo and it's time for a narrated Wi-Fi battle video. Today's match is a battle I had against Booze. I will leave his Skype in the description. I believe that's where I challenged him at least, or where he challenged me. Really good battler. I've also picked up quite a few Pokemon from him. Just in breeding and exchanges of the sort of that type. So I actually had this battle with him more towards the beginning of 6th Gen. It was just a good match though. He starts off with Absol. I was thinking he would Mega Evolve, so it was not a lot of point trying to go for Paralysis. And my only offensive option on Meowstic is, of course, Psychic, so I just wanted to go for Reflect. I believe this was even before I got Light Clay. And he probably was thinking I would switch out or be a prey to the Magic Bounce there, but I didn't see any reason to do that, so I just want to get both screens. And I actually take a +2 Play Rough pretty well. Thinking that he was going to go for Play Rough again, I'm just going to switch out into Swalot. And I knew Swalot could take on Absol pretty well outside of critical hits. That Play Rough at +2 with my max defense and the Reflective doesn't do anything. And Psycho Cut here actually didn't have a chance to KO without a crit. So I was pretty impressed not only with the damage calcs I had to run for that, but just generally Swalot's ability to take hits. Now here's where he finds out that I'm Scarfed as I just come back with Deadeye and go for a Scarf Aura Sphere. I knew he had Slowbro he could switch into, but I didn't really want a +2 Absol running around, running train on my team. Now, it's quite unfortunate that he carries Calm Mind on his Slowbro. The defensive boost that he gets from that, he's probably max HP, max defense. It's going to make this thing very difficult to muscle through. Couple that with the fact that I have no way to phase it out on this team, and I'm basically bringing in my Delphox as death fodder here. I didn't really have any way to deal with it, and I was hoping I could put it at a range where maybe I could finish it off with something else, but that Shadow Ball does not do as much as I needed to. And so I'm forced to kind of go into Meowstic to set back up my light screen so that something else can buffer the hit. This allows him to recover his HP or even get another Calm Mind, which is unfortunate, but at this point I need to be able to take the hit more so than trying to finish him off. Especially I don't have anything on that team that hits really hard. I think the next hardest attack I have is maybe Dark Pulse from my Clawitzer, which definitely is not going to finish it off. So with the light screen back up, I feel a little bit more comfortable switching around. I did want to paralyze Slowbro. Yes, he's already slow, but I really would like that 25% chance that he was not going to be able to get an attack off or even recover his HP or set up more. So I'm going to use this opportunity to go out into my Aritos, hope that I don't get burned by the Scald with the light screen up. The Scald doesn't even do that much, that's a 3-hit KO. And Sucker Punch actually does a decent chunk of damage for him being likely max HP, max defense. I could go for Shadow Sneak. Now that he knows I have Sucker Punch, he's probably going to try to set up. But Shadow Sneak doesn't really do anything, so that's kind of a waste of time. I could have set up Sticky Web or Toxic Spikes. But if I don't get the Slowbro to switch out, there's not a lot of point to that, is there? Now the light screen wears off again. Not carrying Light Clay on Meowstic was not good this battle. I had to set that up way too much. But now I'm going to try out Chestnut here. This is my Assault Vest Chestnut, so I was just hoping to not be burned. And I went for Shadow Claw to try to hit it hard. But Nidoking comes in. He does not take very much at all from that Shadow Claw because I run a weird EV spread on my Chestnut to account for the Assault Vest. Meowstic does show its prowess as a special wall right there, taking that Stab Sludge Wave pretty well, even with the sheer force boost, and it's likely life orb boosted as well, which allows me to set up one more light screen, which is important before Meowstic goes down, because I knew I wasn't going to outspeed it, so let's just get that up. Now, thinking that he would be threatened into switching out right here, I double switch into my Chestnut, but he just goes for another Sludge Wave, which means he might actually be scarfed, since he wasn't that afraid of me using Clawitzer, because obviously he knows that Clawitzer is scarfed after I outspent Mega Absol. Fortunately, Clawitzer actually has decent bulk, especially with screen support. Of course, a lot of things have great bulk with screen support, but I mean, he doesn't even take half, which means he probably would not have been knocked out by a Sludge Wave anyway. Now, unfortunately, since I did that unnecessary double switch, that means Clawitzer does not have enough HP to live a Brave Bird from Talonflame. At max HP, Clawitzer does have a chance to live, depending on Adamant or Jollian, you know, min and max damage rolls. But that means my last Pokemon Chestnut is going to go down to another Brave Bird, and that's going to be the end of that battle. So thank you, Booze, for the great match. It's interesting to look back on these battles that I had a little earlier on, and wow, he had a Chansey that whole time. It didn't even matter. Anyway, that was demoralizing there, looking at that screen and realizing your opponent has a Chansey that you didn't even see. But anyways, though, looking back at matches that you had earlier on in the generation is interesting to me, because even now, a lot of the Pokemon that were used early on, such as Smeargle and Galvantula, as dedicated leads, pretty much, suicide leads, I don't see nearly as much of those anymore. And so that's kind of just telling, not only for Pokemon Bank being released in Japan, but just kind of the way people adapt and deal with new threats. Which is good, because as long as Smeargle is around, there will be leads that have the safety goggles, so might as well not have to run those. It's really, really odd to look at these types of sets now, though, especially with in 4th Gen, they're just being dedicated leads and anti-leads, and now with Team Preview, it's hard to really predict that. But then it kind of came back around again with the advent of Sticky Web, and Smeargle using Sticky Web and Spore, the Stealth Rock. Really weird. Things come in cycles, I guess. Bicycles, and they should not be written inside. So when your thing comes on a bicycle, make sure it stays outside. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, you guys have a good weekend. I will talk to you all later. Bye bye now.